Migration.
The new
Our
migration strategy.
migration program.
Migration visas.
Australia Migration Talks.
Hello everyone, I'm Alex. Today we're talking about a very common question in student visa applications. Why can a student visa still be refused, even when the applicant already has a school offer? When many people see a student visa refusal, their first reaction is the school not good enough? Is the course not right? Was the statement not written well? But in reality, it is usually not that simple. Many student visa refusals may look like document issues or study plan issues on the surface. But the real problem is often that the decision maker was not convinced. Why do you want to study this course? Why do you need to study it in Australia? Why now? And does this choice make sense when we look at your own background? Today we have Jasmine with us again. Jasmine is a highly experienced migration agent. She has nearly 20 years of experience in the migration industry and specializes in complex visa matters, including refusals, cancellations, appeals, character-related cases, health-related cases, and other difficult migration matters.
Thank you, Alex.
Many student visa applicants say, I have a school offer and I prepared the documents. Why was my visa still refused? Usually, where does the problem come from?
Very often, the problem is not just the school, and it is not just one document. The core of a student visa application is to make the decision maker believe that your study arrangement is reasonable. I usually see three types of problems. First, the course choice does not make sense. Second, the applicant's personal background is not clearly explained. Third, the future plan does not sound convincing. These three issues are often connected.
Let's go through them one by one. First, when you say the course choice does not make sense, what does that mean?
Simply put, it means the applicant has not clearly explained why they want to study this course. Some applicants already have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or even many years of work experience. But then they choose a course that looks completely unrelated to their previous background. That does not mean they definitely cannot study it. The issue is that they need to explain it properly. For example, why is this course suitable for your current stage? How is it connected to your previous study or work experience? Why do you need to study it in Australia rather than somewhere else? If these questions are not clearly explained, the decision maker may feel that the study plan does not look natural.
So it is not that changing fields is definitely not allowed. The key is that the logic has to make sense.
Yes. A common example is this. These days, many students in China may have studied humanities or business-related subjects, such as international trade or economics. But then they want to come to Australia to study nursing. In that situation, we need to look into each applicant's personal background and find the real motivation and internal logic behind their decision to study nursing. For example, was there something in their life experience that made them deeply respect nurses and want to change their career direction? Or was there something in their previous work experience that was connected to healthcare, which led them to consider a career change?
The logic has to be self-consistent.
Exactly. Many applicants think, the school has already accepted me, so why does the decision maker still question it? But being accepted by a school and convincing the decision maker of your study purpose are two different things. The school looks at whether you meet the entry requirements. The decision maker looks at whether your study arrangement is reasonable and genuine.
The second problem is that the applicant's personal background is not clearly explained. What does that usually mean?
This is also very common. It follows the same logic as the nursing example I just mentioned. Many applicants only talk about what they want to study, but they do not explain their own background clearly. For example, why did they study their previous major? What did they do after graduation? How is their work experience connected to the course they are now applying for? Was there any gap in between? Why have they suddenly decided to study in Australia now? If these things are not explained, the whole application can look disconnected. The decision maker may wonder why this timing why this course? Why does this choice not seem connected to the applicant's past?
So a student visa is not only about saying, I want to study. It is also about whether this study plan makes sense when placed within that person's life experience.
Yes, exactly. A course itself may have no problem, but that does not mean it is reasonable for every applicant. The same course may look very natural for one person, but for another person, it may require a much stronger explanation. For example, one applicant may come from a family where 3 generations have worked as chefs. Even if he has already completed a bachelor's degree in international trade, he may still want to study hospitality management because of his family influence. His future plan may be to inherit the family's cooking skills and expand them into a larger restaurant business or hospitality group. In that kind of situation, the logic is much more understandable.
The third problem is that the future plan does not sound convincing. Is this where many people write something too general?
Yes, very common. Many applicants write very general things, such as, I want to improve myself, I want to learn advanced knowledge, and I want better career development in the future. These statements are not wrong. The problem is that they are too empty. The decision maker needs to see a more specific logic. After you finish this course, how are you going to use it? How will it help you return to a particular industry, enter a particular role, or develop in a particular direction? If the future plan only sounds nice, but remains too general, it cannot properly support the study purpose.
So the issue is not whether the English sounds beautiful, but whether the content is convincing.
Yes, some statements read smoothly, but they do not answer the real questions. Some applicants submit many documents, but none of those documents explain the key point clearly. A student visa application is not about writing a beautiful essay. It is about explaining your study choice clearly.
So from the applicant's point of view, they may feel that they have already explained everything. But from the decision maker's point of view, the real questions have not actually been answered.
Yes, that is one of the most unfortunate parts of many student visa refusals. The applicant submitted documents and wrote a study plan, but they did not really explain what the decision maker cared about. The real issue may be that they did not clearly explain why they wanted to study this particular course. If the core problem in the refusal is that the study logic is unclear, then simply changing to another school may not solve the problem. You need to first understand where the previous application failed to convince the decision maker. Was the course choice unreasonable? Was the background not clearly explained? Was the future plan too empty? If these problems are not properly addressed, lodging again may still carry risk.
So how should student visa applicants avoid this situation?
I think the most important thing is not to only ask, is this school okay? You should first ask yourself 3 questions. First, why do I want to study this course? Second, how is this course connected to my past? Third, after I finish the course, what practical benefit will it bring to my future? If you cannot answer these 3 questions clearly yourself, then the application materials will usually struggle to answer them clearly too.
So the point of a student visa application is not to make yourself look perfect. It is to make your choice sound reasonable.
Yes, a genuine study plan does not need to be complicated, but it needs to have logic. What was your past situation? Why are you making this choice now? Where do you plan to go in the future? These points need to connect.
Good. Let's summarize today's episode. A student visa refusal is not always because the school is not good enough. Very often, it is because the course choice, personal background, and future plan do not form a clear logic. Having an offer does not mean the visa will definitely be granted. Submitting many documents does not mean the decision maker will automatically understand your situation.
Yes, the most important part of a student visa application is not simply telling the decision maker, I want to study. It is helping the decision maker understand why this course is a reasonable choice for this applicant.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you, Alex.
And thank you everyone for listening. If you are preparing a student visa application, remember this. A student visa is not only about whether you have a school offer, it is about whether your study plan makes sense. I'm Alex. See you next time.